Hi everybody, this is Dan Stolebarger, and welcome to this week's KFIR Middle East update. It's the week of October 15th. Right away, let me encourage you to go to our website at holygroundexplorations.com. Scroll down, see the Middle East update, click it, get the PDF, because each one of these reports have pictures that go along. And you know what they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And then a reminder that we use only Israeli sources as we present our weekly Middle East updates. So what's going on this week in Israel? Well, unfortunately, it shouldn't come as a surprise. The United Nations cultural arm, UNESCO, has voted to change all the names of the holy sites, both Christian as well as Jewish, and give them Arabic names, Muslim names, which is, as critics will say, is tantamount to ignoring the Jewish link to the state. And so Israel's up in arms concerning another one of those so-called votes from the UN. And you probably realize in Israel, UN means United Nothings. Also a concern about Obama and his lame duck session, the potential launch of a so-called TwoState Solution, the Israeli-Palestinian peace initiative. It seems like the Obama administration is trying to manufacture a crisis over this so-called settlement construction, just simply wanting to put diplomatic pressure on the Jewish state. So we're going to have to stay tuned for that and see what transpires. We all know that Obama is very concerned about his legacy and the fact that he was unable to create two states as something that I don't think he's given up on yet. So we'll have to wait and see. There's other things, but we don't have time for. That's why I encourage you to get that PDF so you can take it all in. This next article is about the terrorist event that happened on Ammunition Hill. There was a police officer that was killed, as well as a civilian, and 4 were injured. The attack took place at the light rail station at Ammunition Hill. The reason I bring this up is that we just had quite a crew in Israel with us, and our dear friend Jane Ben-Ari. This just happens to be the stop that she gets off of for that light rail at Ammunition Hill. We actually picked her up from this when we were going from the Dead Sea. So kind of wanted to just bring it up as a reminder to be praying for the peace of Jerusalem, but be praying for Jane also. A dear friend, and once again, it's a little too close to home. Of course, there was the death of 2 people, 4 were injured, and so who's going to take credit? What's the Palestinian Authority going to do? Well, of course, their Facebook page, you can see the picture. They're rejoicing over the fact. They're declaring the person that killed these people as a martyr, Misbah-u Sabeth. He's called a martyr for Allah, for going on this bloody rampage. And so they not only praised the killer, but they've declared both a day of mourning and a general strike on his behalf. Once again, this is the so-called peace partner. And then we have the High Holy Days that started over a week ago when we celebrated Rosh Hashanah, which was followed by the 10 days of awe, and then concluding with Yom Kippur, and we still have right around the corner the Feast of Tabernacles. So this is one of those times in Israel where the Palestinians begin to riot. These are flashpoints. Again, back to this group that went with us to Israel when we were down in the David City at the Pool of Siloam. Remember, I arranged to make sure, actually Sharon arranged to make sure that we had a shuttle up, because it's that neighborhood of Siloam, or Silwan, that is one of those notorious places for rioting to occur. And sure enough, that's exactly what has happened over the eve of Yom Kippur. And so, again, praying for, when we talk about anti-Semitism, when we talk about two-state solution and peace and all of that sort of stuff, it just reminds us of our exhortation from the Psalms of Ascent to make sure to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And it's not only in Salon, it's not only in Gaza or, Hebron, but there's trouble brewing in I usually don't refer to it as the West Bank, because for me it's the mountains of Judea and Samaria. But Jenin and Tukkarim are sleeping giants that are worrisome to Israelis. There's olive harvest, and there's around the clock sort of concern of riots taking place in the heartland. And so it's something to, once again, we always talk about, the famous quote from the Israeli general that said, there's one good thing to be surrounded by your enemies, is that you can shoot in any direction and be okay. Well, we kind of chuckle about that, but when you think about Gaza in the south, and you think about, the northern border with Hezbollah, as well as what's going on in Syria and in the heartland, if Jenin and Tukkarim becomes these sort of hot spots, once again, it's a multiple fronts that's most concerning to Israel. And then hats off to the Palestinian Media Watch, PMW. It's something that I hope you've already subscribed to, pmw.org, I think it is. Their latest report, the PA's billion-dollar fraud, just came out. And because of this, and the bottom line is that they have the proof that has shown that, according to the Palestinian law and practice, the Palestinians are continuing to finance terror by paying salaries to the terrorist prisoners, contrary to what they've promised donors. And because of the hard work of the PMW, last Friday, Great Britain actually froze 25 million pounds that was set aside as aid to the Palestinian in response to this report. And not only Great Britain, but Germany, Norway, Denmark, Holland, Sweden, and even the U.S. has called for the Palestinians to make dramatic changes immediately, or they will cut aid to the PA in response to this report. So well done, Ithamar. Ithamar Marcus is one of the founders and leaders of the Palestinian Media Watch. You can check for yourself. We always include a weekly Torah portion that's in that PDF that I talked to you about. For quotes this week, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs writes, one of the most striking features of Jewish life is that from Israel to Palo Alto, the Jews are among the world's most enthusiastic users of information technology. And they've contributed things such as, Google, Facebook, Waze. But the interesting thing is that they still write the Torah exactly as it was done 1,000 years ago, by hand, with a quill, on a parchment scroll. This is not a paradox, he goes on. And then here's the quote, here's the profound truth that he states. He says, people who carry their past with them can build the future without fear. Selah, think about it. Feast of Tabernacles. Okay, this is it. It's time to relax, enjoy this feast in Israel. Of course, they build sukkahs or booths. They'll spend the entire week outside in these booths. You have to be able to see the stars and feel the wind. And this is a time of great celebration. It's a reminder of how God provided for the Israelis, for the Jews, when they were in the wilderness, when they were delivered from Egypt. But it goes bigger than that, because it's a time just to remember his provision. It's time to bring all the harvest in and to acknowledge him as the King of the universe and the Creator. Again, it's the one feast that you're commanded to be joyful. And so let me encourage you to do just that. Give him glory. Thank him for his provisions and how he continues to simply take care of us as well as taking care of Israel. So with that, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and I'll talk to you again next week for our Middle East update. Shalom, and God bless you all.